Well, it came from an idea about what would it be like to have Baz Luhrmann tell the Elvis story. Really was just an idea, and I thought it was a great idea. And because the story is a big American story, and Baz knows how to do that well, and it also is a musical story, and Baz really knows how to do that well. So I approached him, and he was interested, and we met. We chatted about it, and we chatted, and it was a 3-hour meeting, and he was mesmerizing. And he really understood the character of Elvis, and he really understood a good way to tell the story, which was a story more about America and myth and finding the man, and less about anything that you would ever know from the Halloween costume version of Elvis. I'm a huge Baz Luhrmann fan. I've seen all of his films. I love his filmmaking style. I love the grandeur of it. I love the beauty of Catherine Martin's production values and costume design, and the colors of his films are so vibrant and so amazing. And beyond that, the ability to use music and take it from a traditional way of listening to it to a modern way and blending that together is really a very unique style that he brings to most of his films. And he certainly brings that to Elvis. And when I thought about how to tackle a subject that's been tackled by so many people, or attempted to be explored by many people, because of the music and because of the canvas of the times, I thought, who could tell it better than a man who really knows how to blend music and epic and an epic quality to his work. And it just seemed like he was the guy. And it never seemed like anyone else could be the guy. It wasn't even a contest. I mean, it wasn't a fair fight. He just was the embodiment of Elvis, even in his screen test. I thought he was remarkable. And it's a very exciting thing when you get to see somebody whose work you don't know, and you know that in another year or 2 or 3, depending on how long this is going to take, and it certainly took us a while, they're going to become a star from this performance and this role. And I could see that when I saw the screen test. Well, I think Austin Butler embodies Elvis. He's not doing an Elvis impersonation. He's not doing a caricature, as we've seen so many times. He's really embodying the humanity of the man. And that is the remarkable thing to watch. He also can sing. And so for the entire first half of the movie, it's Austin singing. The second half of the movie, there's a blend with Austin and Elvis. I always thought Tom Hanks should play the Colonel. I don't know why I thought that, other than the fact that I love Tom Hanks and he's such a great actor. I'd never seen him play the antagonist in a film before. And in my head, I thought he'd be amazing for this role. And when it came to pass that he wanted to do it, and obviously he wanted to work with Baz, and I believe that's probably his main motivation for wanting to do this. I think he gives such a remarkable performance. Obviously, he is in makeup that will surprise the audience because he looks a lot like the Colonel and a lot not like Tom Hanks. But beyond that, it's a performance that encapsulates the Colonel's power, charisma, cunning, smarts. It really, he has a full picture of what the Colonel was like. I mean, I believe his performance makes you understand why Elvis would be attracted to this man. He knows a lot. He's carrying a lot of secrets. A lot of things he does to Elvis are based on the secrets that he's carrying. So it becomes a tragic story, ultimately, for Elvis. But to see a character like that was real, a real live Carney guy, a real guy who found his geek in Elvis and knew that the audience would come along, Tom's performance is, it's just transcendent. That is all Baz and CM and the great prosthetic makeup artists that we worked with in Australia, and Tom's great patience in sitting in the makeup chair and going through that process, because it is startling. I remember showing some folks early on some photos of Tom when he first started shooting, and I was on the set and I took a few photos of him. And I brought them back and I showed them to people. And I said, "This is Tom Hanks." And people said, "What? That can't be Tom Hanks." I said, it is Tom Hanks. So the work that they've done and the subtleties, too. I mean, it's not just this exaggerated prosthetic look like we see a lot in films. It's a very specific prosthetic look that makes him look a lot like the man he's playing, but also fits for Tom. Catherine Martin is the most talented costume and production designer I certainly have ever worked with. Her exacting work, the specificity of every single thing she does, the beauty of their partnership, Baz and CM, and how they work together, and how she runs her department and the people who work with her understand the level of detail and the level of excellence that has to go into the project. And many of those folks have worked with the team for a long time in Australia. And watching CM and Baz, it's a remarkable team. Always Baz in the lead as the director, but CM brings an extraordinary sense of precision and beauty to her work. While I knew there was a bigger story to Elvis than what I had ever seen played on screen or television, I had no idea of how deep it really went, and how important not only a musical figure he was, but also a figure in terms of the attempt to bridge divides. The story of Elvis and the story of the times really come together. So if you're looking at race in America in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, that story can play itself against the backdrop of Elvis's life. If you're looking for the story of politics in America, that story can also play itself against the story of Elvis's life. And if you look at music, that definitely does. So I think it's a remarkable story on a lot of levels.